24%. And everybody's down already. Didn't even use tree. So let's use tree right now just to help everything get cleaned up a little bit more. PD is still going. That's one way to do it. It's the more ballsy way to do it. As you can see, 0 experience, so my level 1 PD stays at level 1. So be sure, do not do paid raids, do not spend money. Go to the goblet on the right and choose targets there. You want troop camps full of guardians. You want as many as possible, just in case you don't get that DD right away. I usually have full army camps. Use a PD, use Cupid, and then you use 2 snipers, and then you usually use like an SK and a Groot just in case. That video showed like a head-to-head with just PD, Cupid off to their own respective camps because they're just buffers, and then Ares, Grizzly Reaper, and SK doing the heavy lifting of all the killing. And then you send Groot, and then you keep a army camp open so you can drop group on the army camp just in case it didn't work your way. But that one, you have to make sure all 6 heroes aggro on the SK, and SK kills all the heroes before like 40%. I think it was about 30-some%, all the heroes are pretty much killed, and that's pretty good. What you don't want is like a split, like a super split base, and you don't want SK to kill the 3 heroes and then start going after buildings and not have any aggro on the other 3 heroes. That could be bad news. He does have a lot of PD stacks on him, so it could work out, but you don't want to take that risk. Other methods, which are a little bit easier, but require 5 or 6 times maybe at best, is just PD, Cupid, and then Reaper and Ares on the corners, and then just pepper in the Guardians whenever you can. That one's is a lot safer. It's going to be extremely hard, if not impossible, to get over your 50%. So you want to do that. You want to kill most of the heroes. If Ares gets 2 procs off and Reaper gets 2 procs off, then you you'll have like 1 or 2 heroes left, and then you drop SK down, and then you drop Groot just in time to revive Ares so Ares can proc. SK gets going in there with a couple PD procs, and it's usually game over from there. And SK isn't super buffed up because SK isn't getting the PD buffs all the time from the very beginning. He only gets like 1 or 2, which is all he really needs. So for crests and everything, PD doesn't get anything. Level 1 PD, don't use them in paid raids, don't use them in dungeons. I just put Goblet on Ares and Reaper because they're getting so much damage from PD. It's just a little overkill. I mean, you could, I guess, if you wanted to try and really one-shot them. Depends on the base type. If it's all magic, I'd probably do Axe just because magic towers aren't really going to hurt you at all. Cupid just got life drain. Crest, same with SK, but he's on Blitz. Tree, I have him on Goblet as well. But that's overall how to use the level 1 PD. You really have to watch your percentage points, and you can't stress this enough. You have to like really dial down the damage. So start off with just the 4, PD, Cupid, Ares, and Reaper, and see how strong his heroes are, see how much of the base you destroy. And sometimes, you drop those 4 down, and it's okay to let them die right away. because then you pop down Groot on that empty army camp, and then you drop down SK as well, and that'll usually clean it up as well. But if it doesn't look good, if you don't have more than half of the heroes dead, if they're not on their last legs, just back out, go in again. You should probably see 2 or 3 heroes standing, and are probably pretty weak by the time you want to send an SK in there, because SK will go absolutely bananas, and you want to make sure that enemy heroes aggro on that SK, so your SK isn't going around willy-nilly hitting buildings, increasing your damage. You just want to take out his heroes and then deal with the towers and everything else. So kind of a long video, but I just wanted to be very concise on how to use the level 1 PD. Thanks for watching.